Hello travelers, I'm Wheelchair Jimmy and I'm rolling through Auckland, New Zealand today. We've decided to go out to Waiheke Island, which is a picturesque 35-minute ferry boat ride due east of Auckland. Now we chose to go on the Sea Link ferry, which operates a somewhat expensive car and walk-on passenger ferry service. It leaves from Half Moon Bay, which is about a 15-minute drive due south of Auckland. Now, I've been on a lot of ferry boats, and this is one I would recommend you drive on the boat. It gets really cramped during the peak hours. There's not a whole lot of places to camp out there on the main deck, and you'll find multiple stairs to go upstairs, which is where they have the food and the restrooms, and you'll find no wheelchair accessible restroom on the main deck. So it's just best to drive on, sit in your car, and enjoy the scenery. Now, Waiheke Island is absolutely beautiful with rolling hills, beautiful beaches, and wineries, but it does require your own car, and driving several miles to tour the island, I didn't see any accessible buses. Now, the main town is along a reasonably steep hill, and most of the retail shops, well, they seem to cater to the local community basic needs and not to tourism. Didn't have a lot of cute little shops, so we decided not to shop in town, and we took a detour and made our first stop at Farley's Beachside restaurant and bar on beautiful Onutangi Beach. You know, Farley's was what I call a small cafe and bar with an outdoor patio overlooking this beautiful remote beach cove. It was generally accessible. You could get in. There was a wheelchair accessible restroom. It would get a 3 on the WJAR index. And the beach cove itself, well, it was down multiple steps, at least from the restaurant area. It was not accessible from a wheelchair standpoint. But boy, this was just a beautiful setting out here. It was just gorgeous. Our second stop was at the Mudbrick Vineyard and Restaurant, and this is an absolutely beautiful winery and restaurant with spectacular views of the bay below. Now, the problem here was entry, as the property sits on the side of some very hilly vineyard land. All winery guests had to park in a dirt lot below the property, and then we had to roll up this very, very steep dirt and rocky path to the winery, and you'll need some help here. But once into the winery, you know, much of the interior of the restaurant and the winery is very level and accessible. You know, we had a great time, met some new special friends from England, and enjoyed the fabulous views of the beach coves and the vineyards over lunch and wine. You know, I should also mention that they do have a wheelchair accessible restroom in the restaurant. On the WJAR index for the Mudbrick Vineyard and Restaurant, it gets a 2 barely, as entry up the mountainside is extremely difficult and is not recommended. Now, in hindsight, Waiheke Island, well, it is absolutely gorgeous, but it was not all that accessible. You know, but the ferry, the island, the people, the food, the wine, it was just a wonderful day. We really enjoyed ourselves. So I hope you come and enjoy Waiheke Island. It is absolutely spectacular out here. Roll on, America!